I talk to almost 50 law firms a month, and there are two things that I hear nonstop from them. Number one is our marketing used to generate leads and now it doesn't. And number two, we get leads, but they're not qualified. In this video, I'm gonna give you 5 reasons why your leads are not qualified and what you can do to fix them. So reason number one is that your marketing is operating in a silo. What I mean by that is you're pushing all your chips onto black. You're saying, I got $3,000 a month, I'm gonna do SEO, and 3 months later, you're complaining about the agency not working, you're blaming them, they stole your money, it didn't work. Marketing doesn't happen in a silo. You can't just push all your chips in one thing and expect it to work, especially when you're doing the same thing as everybody else. Because you're spending less than the competition, and if everyone's doing the same thing, it just becomes a pay-to-play visibility game, and you're not gonna outspend the competition, and that's not a game that you wanna be in. Marketing is a flywheel. Marketing is an ecosystem. When I say marketing is an ecosystem, it means that what you're doing and you're posting on Instagram, it's not gonna directly impact your Google rankings, but what it's gonna do is it's gonna help to build an ecosystem and a buzz, because with people seeing your stuff on Instagram and they're seeing your stuff on YouTube and they're seeing your ads here and they're clicking on your website there, it all interconnects. The internet is all interconnected, it's like a spider web. And what happens is that a rising tide raises all ships. So the more places that you're being seen, the more places that you're gonna be found. So you need to put more effort into your own stuff and to be creating content for your social media platforms, pushing organically, running some paid ads, and just thinking about marketing as an ecosystem instead of a singular tactic, because that one tactic is never gonna deliver for you, it's never gonna work. Also too, understanding that your business is a flywheel, right? Is that a lot of the times you're just putting everything on an agency here in the acquisition part, you're not handling your intake properly, you're only doing court, which is fine, you're a lawyer, I mean, that's what you should be focused on, but this all operates together in a flywheel. It can't happen in a silo, it just does not work like that. Reason number 2 why you're getting bad leads is because you have intake issues. And a lot of this boils down to the fact that lead generation is a numbers game. And a lot of lawyers that I talk to, they're like, well, look, I don't want to take on more than 2 clients per month, so I only want 10 leads per month. It doesn't work like that. It just doesn't work like that. This is a numbers game. And you have to be in the mindset of getting as many leads as possible, because you can't just stop it at 10. It's a complete land grab. So think about it this way too. If somebody is searching for lawyer near me, right, and you're a DUI attorney, they probably don't know the difference between a DUI lawyer, a family lawyer, a personal injury lawyer. They just don't. It's just the way that the market works. So if they're searching for a lawyer near me and you show up for that, and they're actually looking for an injury lawyer, but you're a DUI lawyer, that's fine. You're gonna catch some strays here and there. But the fact of the matter is that you need to be getting all those phone calls, because eventually one of those is actually gonna be for a DUI lawyer. So you need to be thinking about this much more broadly, much more macroly. And your intake should be screening all the calls for you, so you're not having to deal with all these bad leads, right? And that's really the core of this issue, is that so many clients that I talk to are like, yeah, we got 100 leads last month, but 70 of them were bad. And I'm like, damn, 30 were good then. They were like, no, 70 were bad. I'm like, yeah, but 30 of them were good. That's pretty good. 30 good leads in a month is good. They're like, yeah, but I wasted my time with 70 leads. And I'm sitting there saying, why are you answering the phone? Why are you talking to 70 bad leads? You should have somebody who's trained on the phone to screen those calls, so you don't get on the phone with unqualified people. You didn't get 100 leads last month, you got 30 leads. The 70 leads, you don't count them. We don't count those. Those are just phone calls. We don't count those as leads. But if you get 30 good leads a month, you're cooking with gas, and you should be able to convert at least 25% of those and grow your law firm pretty well. But if you're dealing with all those bad leads, it's gonna weigh you down. You're gonna blame the marketing, you're gonna blame the advertising, you're gonna complain about how much you're spending on it. And the fact of the matter is, you should just be focused on the good leads. You need to whittle that down and focus there. Reason number 3, you're getting bad leads is because you're making bad offers. And this may or may not be your fault, because you probably hired an agency to do this, but if you're advertising, right? And you're advertising on Facebook or Google or billboards, whatever it is, specifically digital though. If you're making offers to people, an offer is basically saying, hey, if you've been hurt or accident, or like, we'll get you compensated, right? A lot of the times, especially if you're paying for those leads, those companies are gonna go over the top in making those claims, and you're gonna be getting people that are expecting that stuff. You're gonna be getting a lot of people that are expecting just to collect the check, not knowing what the full process is. You're gonna be getting a lot of people that are outside of the statute of limitations. So if you're making bad offers through your advertising, if you're not conscious about it, then you're gonna be catching strays. You're gonna be getting a lot of bad phone calls. This happens especially a lot with Facebook ads, the offers that you have to make to get people off. Reason number 4 you're getting bad leads is you're not training the algorithm. So again, if you are advertising, what you need to be doing is you need to be setting up full 360 reporting. What I mean by that is, a lot of times if you work with an agency, they're probably gonna report on cost per lead. This is how much you spent. You spent $10,000 per month. We got you 20 leads at $200 per lead. I'm bad at math. I don't know if that actually comes to it. But if they're not reporting on cost per client because they're not tracking cost per client, they're not plugging that into a CRM, then that algorithm on the front end for the advertising is just optimizing for the phone call. And we both know that a large majority of phone calls that you're gonna get are going to be bad. I tell my law firm clients all the time, 70% of phone calls you get, they're not gonna be qualified. So they're not leads, they're just phone calls. People wanna talk to a lawyer, they have questions. It's part of the nature of what you do. You gotta move on and accept it. But if you set up full lifecycle reporting, which means you have a CRM which tracks leads, which tracks deals, which tracks closed deals, and then amount won for that case, what we do is we tie that back into the advertising platform. So Google then sees the full lifecycle of who's paying you, and they understand the audience to then attract. But if you're stopping it at leads, you're just telling the platform, Facebook, Google, whatever it is, that this is what you're optimizing for. I'm optimizing for phone calls, and 70% of the phone calls you get are bad, so it's gonna keep optimizing for that. So you need to set up full lifecycle reporting. You need to track all the way through the client when they've been acquired, when they've signed, and when they paid, so you can cycle it back through the front end, and your ad targeting is gonna improve dramatically. So the final piece here is the mentality of it. And this is really the biggest part. You're just playing the wrong game. I talked about this a little bit before with the intake stuff, but there are no bad leads. There are no bad leads. There are no bad phone calls. You need to be in the mindset of getting every single phone call that's out there. Because a lot of people, like I said, they just don't know. They're searching for a lawyer. They don't know the difference between DUI and injury. They're gonna call you and you're just gonna have to deal with it. You're gonna have to screen them and push them away. But you need to be willing to go after every single phone call, because one of those phone calls is gonna turn into a lot of money for you. And if you're kicking them away, if you're saying, I only want 10 leads a month, I only want 3 clients a month, so I'm not interested in those, you're playing the wrong game. And that's why you're gonna lose every time. You're gonna get bad leads because it's a crapshoot. 1 month, if you're only getting 10 leads, all 10 of them might be bad. And that might happen for 3 months in a row. And if you give up, if you don't play the right game here, if you don't understand that this is a numbers game, it's not a quality game. I know that's not what you wanna hear, but it's the truth, because the biggest players in your space understand that. Morgan & Morgan is not in the business of kicking away leads. They're not. They want every single phone call. They want to step on your back and take every single phone call from you, especially the ones that you don't want, because they know that one of those phone calls is going to turn out big for them. So you have to change your mindset on this. You have to understand that this is a numbers game. It's not a quality game. It's a numbers game. You need to be in the mindset of getting every single lead possible, because if you don't, Morgan & Morgan is, and they're gonna keep eating your lunch. So that's all I got in this. That's 5 reasons why you're getting unqualified leads. As always, if you need help with your advertising or marketing, hit me a comment below. If not, like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.